Good evening, I'm Evan Berkowitz, and you're watching YBA Today. Sports coming up, but first these top stories. First, off the coast of Italy, where this morning a luxury cruise ship ran aground just off the coast. The ship, whose hull became stuck in a shallow area known as Giglio's coast, then became partially submerged and tipped onto its side. 3 passengers died and 69 are still missing, according to the AP. This video from Russia Today shows the ship, named Costa Concordia, overturned in the Mediterranean Sea off of Italy. Luckily, however, the ship was close to land and lifeboats were deployed from one side of the ship. Those passengers who did not fit in the lifeboats were shuttled to land by ferry and rescue boats. Over 4,000 passengers were on board the 8-day cruise when the ship ran aground near Tuscany and sustained a huge crash through its side, causing water to rush into the lower cabins. Many are questioning why the voyage's only evacuation drill was scheduled days after the first passengers boarded the Carnival-owned liner. That would have been 5 p.m. today. Carnival did not address that issue in their statement on the crash. Of the bodies found, 2 were French, and 1, a crew member, was Peruvian. Divers are searching the submerged half of the liner for the 69 missing passengers. Our next story here is on the home front in Virginia, to be exact. Though the next Republican primary may be in South Carolina, where pundit comedian Stephen Colbert is attempting to run, there's a lot of news coming out of the Old Dominion state. It looks like the primary there will be a 2-horse race between Ron Paul and Mitt Romney, and that's not just because they're in the lead. They are literally the only 2 candidates on the ballot. That's because Rick Santorum, Newt Gingrich, John Huntsman, and Rick Perry failed to make the deadline to submit their bid to the Virginia GOP. All of the candidates collectively fought that in court, but a Virginian court struck them down, saying that they could have put their claim in on time. Now across the pond to Europe, where credit rating giant Standard & Poor's has downgraded the credit ratings of such big-name EU countries as France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Austria, and others following the continuing Eurozone debt crisis. The S&P had threatened the downgrade last December, but it took until the new year to go through with the plan. All listed except Italy, Portugal, and Spain were downgraded 1 notch from AAA, which countries like Germany, the UK, and Finland kept, to AA+, the US rating, while the remaining 3 were knocked down 2 levels to AA, causing interest rates in those countries to rise drastically. Many say that S&P should have thought through its decision some more before handing down the judgment, but S&P is saying that the deepening crisis in Europe left them no choice. This may be helpful in the long run, as France's downgrade proves that Germany is the clear leader in mitigating these debt crises, ending disputes from France's Premier Nicolas Sarkozy. Meanwhile, Greece faces bankruptcy if they do not secure the millions of dollars in private sector funding mandated by the European Central Bank in exchange for forgiving the crippled Mediterranean country's debt. Now let's go to TJ at the sports desk. TJ?
Hello, I'm TJ Horgan in YBA Today. In latest MLB news, 37-year-old pitcher Hiroki Kuroda has agreed to a 1-year, $10 million deal with the New York Yankees in their attempt to realign their pitching rotation. They also are trading catcher Jesus Montero to the Seattle Mariners in return for a rookie pitcher, Jose Campos, and starting pitcher Michael Pineda. Red Sox manager Bobby Valentine is not worried about the Yankees, calling Michael Pineda okay and saying that he wasn't performing well in Seattle. In Red Sox news, Jason Varitek has been invited to spring training, but he has not yet been signed with the team. This brings up questions around the Red Sox confidence in catchers Kelly Shopik and Jared Saltalamacchia. In NBA news, all the Miami Heat skeptics have had a victory as they dropped 3 in a row to the Golden State Warriors, who were 2-6 at the time, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Denver Nuggets. The Bulls beat the Celtics last night, making them 11-2, and the Bulls are now the best team in the NBA record-wise. The Celtics are 3rd in their division, showing weakness in rebounding and big men, starting Brandon Bass and Kevin Garnett, who have just combined for 13.6 average rebounds per game. This must leave Doc Rivers kicking himself because Glenn Davis, who he did trade, has 8.6 rebounds per game just in January itself. Dwight Howard is on the trade market officially, and the Celtics might be interested in signing them because Dwight Howard has expressed interest in moving to different cities. In NFL news, the Patriots are playing the Broncos tonight at 8 o'clock. For this segment, I've brought in Josh Englander.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Who do you think think's going to win tonight? The Patriots or Broncos?
You know, call me a Cinderella person, but I like the Broncos. I think, you know, Tim Tebow has been playing excellent. He almost reminds me of Tom Brady in some cases. Oh, don't you give me that look. I'm telling you right now, Tim Tebow, he beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, and I don't care how many injuries they had. They are an excellent defensive team. I mean, they were 12-4 despite these injuries. Denver has great defense themselves. They have Von Miller. They've got the passing rush. And let's face it, the Patriots are not a built playoff team. They are a season-only regular season team.
Denver did beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Tim Tebow is not as miraculous as everybody thinks he is. He leads the Broncos to the 31st passing team in the NFL. However, running back Willis McGahee, he doesn't get enough credit. I mean, the Broncos are statistically first in the NFL in rushing.
Yeah, but you know, it's not just about that. It's not just about the statistics. As Tom Brady has shown, for example, let's look back to the 2001 Patriots. This is the team I think the Broncos are like. They had a good defense, like the 2001 Patriots. They had a quarterback that, yes, Tom Brady was very good, but he wasn't like Tom Brady-esque like he is now.
I don't believe Tom Brady had ever been able to run the ball.
No, but I'm saying that Tim Tebow, he brings that edge that Tom Brady did back in 2001 to a team that, yes, had a good defense, but the quarterback-wise, look at Denver with Jay Cutler, for example. It was almost like switching from Jay Cutler to Tim Tebow, because I don't count Kyle Orton. I think he was basically a mess to begin with. But looking at Tim Tebow and when they had Jay Cutler was sort of like Drew Bledsoe. He was great, but he didn't bring that edge. Tim Tebow brings that edge that no other quarterback besides Tom Brady that I know of can, and Tom Brady has sort of lost that edge. It's sort of like, okay, I've won 3 Super Bowls, I put up the numbers, yes, I want to go for another one, but I don't have that edge because I've already won it 3 times.
New England's rushing attack is not that good, and New England is 3rd in points per game with just over 32 points per game, and that is all attributed to Tom Brady.
Let me put it to you this way. What if Denver gets to Tom Brady? Do the Patriots have a running game? As you mentioned, their running game is terrible. So if they get to Tom Brady, the Patriots have no offense. Look at what the Bills did last week, or a couple weeks ago, rather. Look what the Dolphins did. Yes, the Patriots won those 2 games, but in the first half of both of those games, they kept getting to Brady. And what happened? Well, the Patriots couldn't score.
That's the thing. The Patriots' offensive line needs to step up to win this game.
Exactly. And, you know, look, I mean, I'm not saying Denver's invincible, but for an 8-8 team with such a competitive quarterback, and Tebow is out there to prove his skeptics. Remember, a few years ago, when he was in the draft, people were saying, oh, he can't throw, so because of that, he's going to, you know, he'll probably not even get drafted. You know, I think at one point they were talking about that. But Tebow has shown that it's not all about what he can do then. It's all about how he's matured and how he's become so competitive and edge to become that great quarterback that I think he can.
But this game is in Gillette, and the Patriots are a veteran team. They have veteran stars, and Denver is not a veteran team. Their stars, Demaryius Thomas, Von Miller, and Tim Tebow, they're all in their 1st and 2nd years.
Yeah, but the Jets last year were not that old of a team either. They came into Gillette and they got crushed like what was it, 45-3 against a 14-2 team. And I mean, honestly, they still lost, right? The Jets still beat them, so I don't think that it really matters that much.
I have the Patriots winning this game 44-24. I think they can pull it out. Now we're going to toss it back to Evan.
Thank you very much, TJ, and thank you all for joining us. For Ashley, for Josh, for TJ, for everyone here at YBA, I'm Evan Berkowitz. Good night.